Hello everyone, welcome back to lovely Gelvin Valley as we head into a nice summer evening. We got the grass cut here by Old Joe's farm. He graciously allowed us to do it. In exchange, he asked that we replant the two fields here, so at some point we're going to be ripping it up and replanting it to grass, and that's only going to help us because he wants us to help him keep the grass down, but he did definitely want it replanted. Haha, so I tell myself. So we have a few windrows here to clean up, pick up rather, and we're going to take them just over the hill. Yeah, we can just zoom out. Right down there is down in the valley is the trough where we can feed our sheep. And I just had another thought too, and maybe it's fortuitous that I forgot to go pick them up. But clear up here on top, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 round bales, it appears. And what I think I can do, I got a mod in here that I believe is called the feedbale mod or something like that. And what it allows you to do is anywhere that accepts grass or grass windrow, I believe, you can put the bale into a regular tip trigger and it will accept it. So, ordinarily in the base game, this trough down here for the sheep, it would only take grass that comes out of this wagon. But I think and we'll give it a try, it may take a little jockeying around, but I'm going to go up and get those bales. Somehow I need to figure out how to haul them. I may try to use my rock trailer to haul them down. I might have to do it in a couple trips. And I'm going to see if it'll take those bales. And yeah, so I have some extra feed, and as everybody knows, the last time that I hauled the bales, there was also some on the top of the radio tower field up here. In retrospect, instead of selling them, I should have kept them. But at that point, I didn't know I was going to be getting in the sheep business. So anyway, here we go. Let's crank this up and turn her on, and let's see if we have enough. Oh, for goodness sake. Of course, I forgot to lower I think I need to lower. There we go. You can hear it go down. Gotta kind of look up, or I'm kind of curious. This is just a regular old high hill bit of grass, and I'm kind of curious to see just how much I can get just from a little bit here. And obviously we only cut 2 of the areas, and all right, we got over 1,000 liters. I don't know how quickly. I'd have to dive into the code and see if I can find the answer. I have no idea how much each sheep consumes. And how many sheep do we got? 40 of them? 39? I forget how many we have. Better get some lights on in here. And so I have no idea how long this is going to tide them over. I probably, just looking how full I am here at the moment, I'm probably not even going to get a trailer load off of all of this. So, I'm going to need those bales, and I'm going to need to find an alternative source of grass, probably, because it's going to take a little while for grass to grow here. Even if I tear it up and plant it, it'll take a fair bit to get it up and growing so I can come in and harvest it like I'm doing now. So those bales will help tide us over for a little bit. Oop. Oh, I'm missing some in every little bit. But I don't know, I got 3,700. Maybe I will fill this thing. That other patch, maybe it's a little bigger than this. I probably won't. But it's letting me go right through there. Oh, good to know, good to know. I maybe should have cut a little bit more on the corners here. And at some point, I'd kind of like to go down to our new orchard. Probably isn't anything growing yet. That's another thing I'm kind of curious about. And it's been long enough since I've messed with an orchard. I really don't know how quickly the apples will grow. What I do remember is it seemed painfully slow to sell the things, especially when I use the, it's kind of like a roadside stand. So, anyway, look at this. We almost have this puppy cleaned up. Whoop. I say this would be a little bit easier if I dragged our windrower up here. And maybe in the future I'll need to do it. But now I know. So this tiny little piece up here is going to yield roughly 5,300 liters each time I come up here to cut. So that is useful information to know. And I don't remember how much this holds. Maybe 14,000 liters. We'll see. Just a little bit more, and we have her picked up, and we still have room, so we'll head on over to the other piece. Ah, there it is. I was like, oh, didn't I got this one? But yeah, there's two pieces here that are going to need ripping up and planting, and oh, did I miss it? Oh, I think I did. Get over to the side here. And you know what? I'm kind of glad to have the feed bales mod, because in real life, I gotta say, at least with what I'm used to, but I'm not even aware of real-life farmers. Maybe someone could correct me in the comments. I'm not aware of real-life farmers picking up a whole lot of loose stuff, kind of like we're doing here. I mean, I know it's done, but to feed directly to animals, it sure seems like, maybe it depends on the kind of animal, but I'm much more used to bales. You know, because a lot of times you're trying to put it up for the winter, and really a more effective way to do it than just storing it loose is, in the bale form. And yet, I've played a lot of farming sim that will have a silo, that is the same one the grain goes into, and it's set up by the modder so you can put grass, you can put dry grass in there, and you would never do that in real life. I mean, the grain handling system could not handle loose grass. I mean, it just isn't designed for that. And even if it could, you just wouldn't store something like grass, especially if it isn't dry grass, dried out, or hay or something. You just wouldn't take grass clippings and put it in there. I mean, it would rot, in a matter of days, really, and turn into something that it wasn't. And yet, how many times have any of us playing this game needing a place to store some of the loose stuff and not wanting the inconvenience of turning it into bales, I've just done it that way regardless. I admit it. This is reminding me of a mod I made in Farm Sim 17. Never released it, but you could expand the work area of a wagon like this that picks things up to make sure you got the whole windrow and didn't have any little bits that you had to come back and pick up later. Alright, hey, we are over 10,000 liters. This isn't going to be too bad. Although, like I say, I do think maybe I need to relocate the storage place of the windrower. Maybe eventually when I can afford it, I can get two of them, leave one up here for hay needs for the sheep, and have one down there for when I next have a straw crop. That's another thing that's kind of on my mind. As soon as I get the sheep fed, we're getting towards evening here, so may need to fast forward time through the night to get to the next day. But I need to figure out what crop, I need to put in. And I know it sure ain't going to be barley. It isn't going to be wheat. You know, I've talked at length about what the code does in terms of market recovery. The moment you sell a ton of stuff on the market, it just beats up the market, depresses the price. I guess they're trying to put in a modicum of supply and demand. So, and I think I may have 2 years in a row of barley, so I've really pounded the barley market. Well, I say I have. It will pound it again. You know, I'm holding all my barley in storage and not selling it just because I want to let the price recover. And then I hope to sell all of it as soon as I can, because the price, you know, stays the same for an hour. But as soon as the hour passes, it starts, you know, the impact of how much you've sold, you know, starts messing with the prices. So I probably at that time will rent the biggest truck I can get my hands on, truck, trailer, unit, whatever, and will sell it as quickly as I can out of storage. 14. You know, who knows how long this will last. I hope it tides the sheep over for a little while. Like I say, I just don't know how much they eat. Probably be useful information to know, because, well, just in general principles. Need to know. Yeah, we'll have this last little bit, and like I say, I believe there's one other area that appears may have some grass. And so I was kind of checking it out in the editor. I've had the editor open on this map a little bit. And by the way, I know I knew this previously. 14.5, okay. I think I knew this previously, but in the shed down here, not only is there a bale destroyer trigger, you know, where you can sell baled product. I think I talked about that last time, so we didn't have to go clear across the valley if we didn't want to. But it also, come to find out, right in there in that middle partition, same area where you would put the bales in, there's a little silage trigger. So apparently old Joe buys some silage from time to time. The clever little thing that Wes put in there is it fills up, and the plane of the silage will rise as you put it in there, and it will cover the trigger. So I think I calculated 8,500 liters that you're able to drop off there, and then you have to wait, boy, I think it's almost an hour before you can put any more in. And you get a little bit better price for silage, still not very good overall, because he's depressed it in this map, but still a little bit better than down lower in the valley. Oops. Well, can I get in here? What am I running into? Is it hitting my... Oh, maybe that's it. It doesn't want to let... That's probably what's holding me up. And here I am beating the stuffing out of the trailer. Yeah, I can't really tell if I got any damage on the trailer. Okay, it's going to be a little bit open. I'm going to have to do this the real way. Huh. Alright, hungry sheeps. Is there already? It almost looks like there's a little grass in there already. Maybe that's just flickering textures and there really isn't. Alright, enough talking. Get in there and dump it off. Hello? Well, I parked right in the trigger. Okay. Unless I was supposed to dump it on the other side. Yoo-hoo! Interesting. Where is the trigger? Alright, I gotta see if I can find the trigger. Oh, look at that. Okay, so he did make it easy. The trigger's over here. All I need to do is... and I was just over there. Alright, lesson learned. Maybe this is how the farmer would feed him anyhow, would come over here. So yeah, you see there's a sheep right there. He knows dinner's coming. Well, but... oh, there it is. Finally. Alright. Hey, no, that's interesting. Interesting plane. Whoa! Oh, that's fascinating. So it isn't gonna... it only lets me put... I didn't see how much total. Did I have 15 in there? 15 and a half, 14 and a half. So it let me put a little in there. Let me see here. Somewhere in here it accumulates some stats. Chicken, sheep, feeding trough, productivity. Interesting, interesting. Okay, well, what's going to happen is when I go get those bales up there, it isn't going to take them. So, but you know what? That's okay. I think what I can do, and here I'll maybe try it. Ah, look at that. He's so happy, sticking his nose in the trough. I wonder if he called all of his buddies. Yeah, he's calling his buddies. Here they come. There's one. There's another dude. Oh, he's parked up on the mountain. There's one. He's walking away. Maybe what I'll do is stack those bales in there so I can put them in the trigger at some other time. So, alright, well, yeah, okay, max 6 days. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to need as much feed as I thought I was going to. And how many animals do I have? 46 of them. My goodness. Well, if it's this easy to feed them, maybe I can handle even more, you know, if I had the money to get them. So, interesting. So I'm going to go try to get those anyhow. So, yeah, it's not letting me drop it. So maybe I need to get out of the trigger. Maybe I can drop it here. All right. Let's head to the farm. I'm going to get our... or actually, you know what? Maybe what I'll do before I do that, I'm going to try to look for some additional grass. And I know there was some over here. I'm going to go pick up our mower. And there's probably room now in the trailer that I could fit the rest of it in there. So... oh, fiddle. Is this hitched down sideways? Oh, it isn't too bad. I can get in there. Let me maneuver. There we go. I do seem to recall it was ticklish getting in the gate, though. That is just barely wide enough. Wow, that's close. Okay, do I want to go? What's the best way? I could go to the left, but I could go to the right also. So maybe I'll just head off this way, and I believe I can head down over the hill. And yeah, I think I can. I'm not used to this area of the map. You know, I've farmed all around it, and yeah, just haven't done all that much over here, so not really used to it. We're gonna go by our main sheep ranch, but I think there's, yeah, because early on when we started this map, there was a couple fields over here that Wes started you with. I ended up selling them because they were kind of a pain to work with. Now, can I go through here? Do I want to go down that way? I think I can go through here, yeah? Let me see if I can. Once more, very narrow gates. Here's another one. I I get in there? Okay, fortunately there's no collision. And we'll see if I can get through this one. Fortunately, yeah, just barely kissing it. Yeah, maybe I should stay out on the main road rather than coming through some of these really narrow gates. But there's an area over here Wes had for placeables that appears to have access to some grass. So we kind of just cut through our sheep pasture. I'm going to sneak down over the hill and see if I can cut on this area over here. Yeah, there's a placeable area. And again, I haven't spent any time in there either. I know some of the other placeable areas I filled with trees. I didn't do all of them, you know, because at some point I think it'd be fun to put in some greenhouses. Oh, here's the entrance. Yeah, so this is past episode or two. I've had some extra enjoyment because, you know, I'm kind of exploring areas in the map. Even though it's a standard size map, there seems like there's more nooks and crannies we haven't gotten to. So, you know, it looks a little bit steep, but I think as long as we don't fall off of this cliff here, doesn't that look kind of like an access point? I think it does. So there's a little grass kind of up there, and I think there's some down there. It doesn't appear any steeper than any other areas we've tried, so yeah, we'll give it a try. Maybe there's a single windrow we could sneak through there. Shoot, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's fire this puppy up. Oh, it's already down. Already down. Whoa! You know, maybe I need to take that back. I thought this was kind of an access point. Turns out there's a ditch in here. You know what? I couldn't see that. I couldn't see that in the editor. Well, now I'm wondering, make sure I can get out of here. So, I mean, I can get up here. Maybe I just need to make sure I'm out of the ditch. So if I come up here and around, yeah, that's how I need to do it. Then kind of come down this way. That'll kind of get me out. So, all right, let me turn around and try to do it the right way, whatever that means. Did it go down? Yeah, it went down. All right, let me see if I can come up the hill. I'm already in four-wheel drive, diff locks, locked and loaded. Yeah, it's still kind of finding the ditch. So I may have some grass that I'm not able to recover, and you know what, that's okay. Maybe some of this is steep in here, I don't know. Yeah, this is a bit steeper than the other pasture or grass area I was in, so probably messing with fire here to be in here at all. Because it is kind of bumpy, which means it may be kind of a booger to actually pick this up. But Wes, if you're watching this, did you intend that this grass would ever be mowed? Or is it only a crazy, desperate fool that comes in here? Yeah, that's pretty dang steep. So let me just cut this off here. I'll try to collect or cut the rest of it here. That's pretty steep. And we really don't have that powerful of a tractor, so it's probably giving us as best it has, which ain't much. Fortunately, with this trailing mower, or whatever they're called, I don't remember. It's not a gooseneck trailer, although it makes me think of it. Alright, one more little strip I can cut out of here. I don't know that I want to go down over there. Looks like there is more grass kind of by those trees. Yikes. Okay, let me come down here. Maybe I'll just come along there and probably take a single strip, because this is pretty bumpy in here. So I might be doing good just to get one strip till I get kind of to this other area over here. We'll climb this hill. Usually in farming sim, and probably in real life too, we tend to think of a hill as a fairly smooth area. Oh my goodness, what have I got myself into? I may never get back out of here. I don't know if I can go down there or not. Look at that, my mower is just following gravity. I'm having to hold the back arrow just to hang on to this thing so it doesn't totally go down the hill. You know, there's another hillside over here with grass. But yeah, this maybe is in a hard enough to get to place. Boy, I don't know that a tractor would climb that. There is some grass over here. It's just, this is a knob. So, well, let me give it a try anyhow. What have I got to lose? Look at that. Powerful tractor climbed it like a good feller. Let's try to stay on this side. Yeah, this is pretty steep in here too. Yeah. For some reason, it just didn't look this steep or nasty when I was in the editor. It just, oh yeah, there's kind of an area here that's grassy area, and Wes has put enough bumps and knobs in here that he's gonna make you pay through the nose if you're over here messing around with a mower. So maybe I just need to figure out where the flatter areas are, if there are any. Alright. This, oh, swinging like a pendulum down the hill. Good old four-wheel drive kicking in. Yeah, this is probably very ill-advised to be doing this. It's not like we're in Switzerland, we're in Scotland. I've heard periodically of the Scottish Highlands, and you know what, I said Scotland. Actually, this is representative of several areas, including Ireland and the UK. But maybe this is how they cut hay up in the Scottish Highlands. How would I know? Never been there. But I'm telling you, our sheep are gonna be fed. So maybe I need to be up here so that when my... Oh, this time it's staying on the hill. How nice. Man, this is gonna be a booger to pick up. Ah. Down the hill it goes. I wonder what this looks like in first-person mode. Yeah, about like what you would expect. Can't hardly see where you're going. And I wonder if it would help or hurt to drag the old windrower down here. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too desperate. I just want to make sure I have a supply of feed for my sheep. So miserable steed. Yeah, I have a feeling this is a maneuver I'm only going to be doing once. Yeah, ordinarily these bushes would be all flattened to smithereens. You know, that is one change I think they made starting maybe Farm Sim 19. I think in 19 you started seeing foliage bend, you know, whenever the tractor went through it, or even when you were walking among it. And I think when you dug out the mower, at least certain kinds of mowers, it would mow all the foliage off, including these bushes and everything. But in the older versions of Farming Sim, you know, I'm sure with some proper massaging of the Lua code and setting it up, right, there would be a way to mow the bushes, so you didn't have to suspend reality by not seeing them get mowed. But I'm not going to try to figure that out. We'll just pretend we shinnied our way in between the bushes, and that will be that. All right, let's turn our mower off. Try to get out of this place. Does this look like... Yeah, the other hill's just as nasty. And maybe there'd be access to... there's probably a ditch. I gotta remember, West put ditches everywhere, so including kind of down in here, there's one coming through. Just ditches. This one here, incidentally, you don't see it on the map. You can kind of see the outline of them down here. These blue ones, of course, we put streams in so that when it rains, it'll rise. And maybe at some point I'll also put a stream down in these. Surely it also has water. We'll go back here, kind of right. Oh goodness, we're already out of time again. Imagine that. Well, I'm gonna get this out of here. Probably never to return and try this foolish experiment again. But hey, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's done something silly in Farming Sim. But I would like to know, Wes, if you're seeing this, was this an area you intended for people to mow? I'd like to know. All right, back to where we had her parked. I'm sure that there's some other free grass areas. Really, in a lot of these fields, there is a strip of grass around the edge, but probably when I replant up here, like we were talking earlier, I should have plenty of grass. It all depends on how many sheep I end up having in there. And, I'd like them to crank out the wool. I think when I feed them, they'll crank out the wool more, but I really don't know how much they produce or how quickly. So there'll be some grass in here too. There is grass everywhere for the industrious person willing to risk life and limb nipping it off. All right, well, thank you so much for coming along. I think I will close the episode here and see you on the next one. Goodbye.